from Burbank, California, it's the quarantine edition of the Nighttime Show. With us, as always, our head writer and producer, Matt Walker. I'm the voice of the Nighttime Show, Mike Black. With us today, a very special guest, the star of Netflix's hottest new show, Too Hot to Handle. Ladies and gentlemen, Chloe Veitch. And now a man who's too hot to handle and too cold to hold. Put your hands together for the very delicious Stephen Kramer Glickman!
Oh, yeah, boy! What's
Flavor
going on?
Flav.
Yeah. Hey, thanks so much. You're listening to the Nighttime Show podcast, and man, oh man, are we excited about this one. Chloe is like the big breakout star. She's the one that everyone loves on that show. She just comes out of the show flawless. Everyone else is like screwed over someone or made some horrible mistakes, but we absolutely love her. So Matt, are you ready? Let's get her on.
I'm very excited.
All right, let's get her on the line. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, our guest today is one of the stars of the most popular show on Netflix right now. This show it's unbelievable. It's too hot to handle. Our guest today is the one and only Chloe Veitch. Everybody, come on. Amazing. We are so excited. We're so excited to have you here, Chloe. How are you?
Oh, thank you so much. You've made me feel so welcome.
Look at you are everyone's favorite.
Yeah, you really are. You are the favorite on the show.
Hey, I've had a lot of positive comments, but I didn't know whether my family were just being biased when they said that they loved me on the show.
No, because a lot of people on the show, reality is a tricky thing to make work for you, and you definitely come out the winner on this show. People, you like from beginning to end, everybody loves you. You're just absolutely hilarious on there. You say a lot of funny stuff, and people are rooting for you the whole way through it.
Oh, thank you. That's so lovely. Yeah, definitely. Well, I mean, one of the messages I wanted to get on, whilst obviously during that experience, was just women empowerment towards the end. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you get messed over by a guy, it's fine, because as long as you love yourself, then you're going to be happy anyway.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very cool. So how did you wind up on this show? Like, what was that process like? Because there's a big switch at the end of the first episode, obviously, for people who haven't seen it yet, where you think you're on one type of show and then it turns out it's a very different type of show. So how did that whole process get started? What did they tell you were going to be doing versus what you actually did? Like, how did that work?
Okay, so the one requirement we needed was to be single. That was it. So I thought, great, I'm going to be in a luxury resort somewhere, soaking up the sun, around fit guys, fit girls, what's not to like. And when we got there, it was like, okay, this is great. The first night we were free and we were playing kissing games and like sexual tension was like through the roof. And then all of a sudden some robot comes on and he's like, you can't have sex. There's £100,000 at stake.
Now,
there was no mention ahead of time that there was going to be a robot involved in this game.
No,
Yeah.
no, not at all. We were oblivious.
Amazing.
Yeah. So now when you applied for this show, like, was there just like a casting notice? Like, were you like looking through casting, like, hey, I want to be on TV, I want to do some kind of reality show, or did somebody approach you at a club, or how did that work?
So I filmed a show. I was like one of the models for this hair show.
Okay.
And I met a caster on there, and I was actually in a relationship when I met her, and she said to me, like, we want to cast you for The Bachelorette, or the Bachelor, and I was like, oh, I can't, like, I'm in a relationship. So anyway, I always had her number, and I ended up breaking up with that guy for different reasons. And then a couple of months after, she rang me and she was like, Chloe, are you single? And I was like, yeah. And she was like, great. we have got something that is perfect for you. And I was like, oh gosh, what is it? And they said, well, no, it's like a reality kind of dating show. We can't tell you what platform it's going to go on. It's not on TV. And I thought, hang on a second, what is it going to be, like a YouTube reality show sort of thing? But obviously it was a Netflix show. And yeah, that was it. I got casted.
Wow.
That's extraordinary. I love it. So beforehand...
Now, one question about practicalities, because you get there, and this is filmed in Mexico, right?
Yes.
And we've talked to people that have been on The Bachelor, and they've told us about how when they go to film The Bachelor, they get them there like 2 weeks early, and they put them in a room by themselves with no phone and no TV, and they don't let them do anything at all for like 2 weeks. So then they finally release them with all these other people, and they're just hyped up for social interaction. Was there anything like that involved? Like, were you isolated before the filming started in some way, or were you just like, you go to the resort and you met the people right away?
Did you have access to your phone at any point in time? Like, what was that like?
No, so it was literally, so I turned up in Mexico about a week before filming started. So I was held in a hotel, and we had like producers that would come and get us, take us for something to eat, and just because all of us, we couldn't know who the other was.
Yeah.
That was one of the rules. We couldn't bump into another cast member because it's a secret. And we were all plotted around the same area. So if I went for a walk on my own to get a sandwich, it wasn't allowed, just in case I accidentally bumped into someone that was also on a reality TV show. But yeah, so after the week in the hotel resort, they said, right, okay, we're going to get you ready, and then we're going to take you to the villa. And I had a blindfold on. We didn't have our phone.
Oh my God.
Do you think you were getting kidnapped at that point?
Well, I did think, hang on a second, like, is there a catch?
Wow.
Oh my God. What about like while you're on the actual show, were you allowed to communicate at all with the outside world, or are you kind of, how does your family deal with this whole thing?
Well, I mean, I'm such a mummy's girl, so I don't cook, I don't clean, I don't iron my own clothes, I don't wash my own clothes. Like, my mum does all of that for me. And when I was away from her for so long, I was just in tears. I missed her so much. And I couldn't talk to anyone on the outside world until the last day of filming. We wrapped up and then we got our phones back. And I was just like, I don't even want my phone anymore. Obviously, I want to talk to my friends and family, but like, it was so nice to just be able to connect and actually have proper conversations with people without being on your phone 24/7.
Yeah, I can imagine. I mean, every once in a while, it has not happened very often for me, but every once in a while, I'll travel somewhere where there is no cell service, and it can be such an enormous relief to be like, oh my God, like, I'm just out of contact.
It's a nice break.
It is a nice break, absolutely.
Yeah, it is, definitely.
What was your how did you grow up? Where did you grow up?
So I grew up in a town called Clacton-on-Sea, and it's by the beach. People come down here, like holiday makers, to rent a caravan. People that have worked all their lives that are getting quite old come to retire here. So it's very like laid back, out in the sticks.
So how far is that from London?
If I got a train to London, it would take me about an hour and a half.
Oh, okay. So you're quite a ways away. Yeah.
So are you living back there right now?
Yeah, I'm in my hometown.
Now, are you? I mean, this is kind of a. I feel like this is an obvious question, being that I live here in Los Angeles, but I immediately seeing you on screen and just hearing you talk and how funny you are and stuff with everybody, like you definitely should be on camera and be working in this industry. Like, do you have any interest in literally stepping into scripted stuff and doing a soap opera, or doing a comedy series, or being in television and film?
I mean, it's something that I've always thought of. Like, when I was a little girl, I used to sing, dance, act. I got an opportunity to go into the West End, an opportunity that I didn't take because my mum and dad didn't have much money to kind of pay for the school annually.
Wow.
I've always been performing arts. Like, I got an A star in performing arts in school, and I've always wanted to kind of be on TV. And it wasn't until I was actually in front of the camera that I kind of felt like this is where I feel my most comfortable and my most confident. Like, some people go in front of a camera and freeze, but for me, it brings me to life, and I really just want to kind of venture that. Like, I'm so uneducated in this industry, like, I don't know what I'm doing. And for me to be able to go on a reality TV show and to get all of the support from you guys just means the world, because my dreams are now becoming a reality, and I really want to do presenting and kind of own my own chat show and host it and get like celebs on and like just talk about society and women empowerment and just run with it.
Absolutely.
Steven, I have to tell you, we're replacing you with Chloe.
Oh, I'm
podcast.
being replaced with Chloe.
Yes.
All right, Chloe, you have a new job. You're gonna take over for me. This is.
I'll give you 20% of my salary. It's fine.
Okay, all right, that sounds fine. Hey, real quick before we continue the show, I want to talk about a third-generation, family-run business that I am very proud to be working with. Sennheiser is the top-tier microphone company in the world, and we are so lucky that we are now recording our show using Sennheiser microphones and their headphones. It's awesome.
We're talking into Sennheiser MD42 microphones and using Sennheiser HD25 headphones, and these sound amazing.
I mean, listen to Mike Black's voice.
Listen to the rich and sumptuous soundscape that comes out of my voice every time I speak into a Sennheiser.
Absolutely. Go check out their microphones and their sound equipment over at Sennheiser.com. All right, let's get back to the show. Okay, we have to talk about the cast of this show because Chloe, let me just tell you this really quick. So I had just finished watching Love Is Blind, and Matt, my dear friend here and co-host, this very skinny redhead friend of mine, Matt Walker, calls me and says, "Hey, you should watch this show, Too Hot to Handle. You got to watch the first episode. You at least have to watch the first episode." And I was like, "I already watched a show. I don't need to watch another show." And he was like, "No, trust me. Watch the first episode." And I was like, "All right, fine." And I watched the first episode, and then I watched every single other episode in a row without stopping until about 4:00 in the morning. And it just, I mean, I blew through the whole thing immediately. I was completely hooked, and the cast of this show, this is the best cast like unscripted show I think maybe I've ever seen. It's up there with Tiger King. Like, it is a phenomenal it's a phenomenal show because you have you have you, so and you kind of lead us into the show, and you've got this who is you got like a young Elizabeth Hurley thing happening, and everybody loves you. They want to they you're so funny. And then we start meeting these other characters. So I'm going to walk you through this cast, and if you can kind of give me your impressions of first impressions of some of these people, I would truly appreciate it. Is that okay?
Yeah, definitely. Go ahead.
All right, let's start with David. So David comes in. This guy seems like a very sweet kid. What'd you think of him immediately?
So when I first saw David, I thought, oh God, he loves himself. He's from London. How comes I don't know him? Maybe there's a little bit more to him, and I kind of want to get to know that. But he come across as a sweet gentleman, and I thought, oh, you're lying. You're definitely a player. But then I got to know him, and my perspective on David changed.
Yeah, he was like a really ripped Spider-Man. He looks like he does look a lot like the guy from Spider-Man.
Is it Tom Holland?
Tom Holland.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's so nice. He was like so nice. He like steps out of the way for one guy, and he's kind of trying to hook up with some girl and this that. But he's like he just seemed like a very sweet guy. Then
David was really.
we've got Francesca. Francesca comes in. What was your impression of Francesca throughout this process?
Well, I'm going to give you my first impression of Francesca. Absolutely stunning. I thought, oh my God, I've got competition. Like, I'm going to have to fight with her to get the guy I want. And when she first walked into the villa, she didn't say hello to any of us girls. So I just thought, okay, I've never kind of had that happen to me before. A girl not come and say hello. Like, yeah. I just thought, she obviously knows she's very attractive. And my first impressions was, she's a little bit snobby. But then obviously I got to know her. And throughout the process, she never really spoke to us girls. It was really hard to form a connection with Francesca because she was such a closed book. On the show, when you watch one of the episodes, you can see me trying to have a conversation with her, saying, oh, how big were your boobs before you got your boobs done? And she just looked at me and was like, they were big. And I'm just like, okay, like, It's hard to get a conversation out of this girl, clearly. But then I think she's, like, we were all in there for a reason. Like, I had emotional barriers because of guys. And she obviously had a problem with opening up to us girls. And it was a magical experience because she formed as a girl's girl towards the end. And I definitely had part of that.
Wow. Yeah, some of those workshops that you guys did just really seemed to make massive differences in some of these people.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, every single person that is watching Too Hot to Handle on Netflix, you're not going to feel all of the emotions that we felt. But when you watch it, promise me, you have an open mind and you kind of take the experience as if you were in our shoes. It was such an emotional experience, having to kind of understand why you can't fall in love, understand why you sleep with guys and then cut them off. Like, what is wrong with you on the inside? And I found out that I was just filling a black hole inside of me, and it kept on leaking, and I couldn't plug that hole inside of me because I didn't know what was wrong with me. And going through that emotional experience in the challenges kind of made me think, do you know what? It's because you don't love yourself enough. You need to understand that you are an independent woman and you don't need a man to love yourself. So that's what I kind of just want to say to girls and guys that are watching the show. Just kind of step in our shoes when you watch it.
Yeah, no, you do feel that way because, watching it from the outside, when Harry and Kells were kind of at odds with each other, and then they had their, like, the man workshop thing, by the time that the two of them, like, hugged it out, you were like, whoa, like, I'm with you on this. Like, this is impressive behavior to have happen on a show like this. It was not typical of, like, how you, expect shows to go, especially in the U.S. where, where we have shows like Real Housewives and shows where,
they're all conflict.
They're all conflict from start to finish. You're waiting for people to punch someone else in the face, and like when it and literally, like, when Francesca would, like, lose money purposefully for everybody, I was like, someone is going to beat someone's ass. I don't know who's getting beat up today, but if this was an American reality show that was done in the typical style of, like, a Keeping Up with the Kardashians or something like this, that's what would have happened. And it's a testament to Netflix and to the producers of this show that, like, it did go a different way, and it does, and you do see people make huge changes in their personalities and in themselves. It was very smart.
Oh, Harry. Do you know what? I think it was love at first sight, to be honest with you. I'm not even joking. I see him and I was like, oh my God, he is stunning. His accent, oh, I was like, whoa, I could imagine myself having kids with him. It was like a flashback. It was like, I'm going to marry him. I'm definitely going to have his babies. And I think in my head, I was even thinking, can I mimic the Australian accent? Do you reckon I could do it?
Do you want to try for us right now?
Oh gosh. Okay, give me something to say and I'll say it.
How about
You used to date an Australian, Stephen. You know
yeah,
stuff.
I used to
Think
date
of
an
something.
Australian. Maybe it sure is fun being on the nighttime show.
It sure is fun being on the nighttime show.
That just sounds American.
It's fun. I dated an Australian for years, and I still couldn't get
Do
the
your Australian.
sure is fun being on the nighttime show. Huh? Yes, it is. It's not great.
You know what? I think the only thing I can say is good day, koala.
So good. Good.
No.
Harry seemed like a very sweet guy.
Now you go on the show and you think it's a dating show, and you get there and there are people from all over the world. Did anything come into your mind at the time thinking, like, this guy's from Australia, this guy's from America, like, I'm from England, like, how would any of this work practically? Like, was that ever a consideration?
Like dating afterwards. Like how does that work?
Well, I mean, I'm always up for giving something a go once, and I've never really. Don't take that too literal. I think when I see everyone was from different countries, I was more worried about calculating what country it was than how far away it was. I was just wrapped up in Chloe's little world, to be honest, in a little bubble. And I think it's so easy to forget about stuff like that when you're just surrounded by fit guys.
Yeah, no, I get that. What about Kells? Kells seems like the only guy that didn't really get any action on the show.
Well, he went in the shower with Francesca. But
I guess. Yeah, he did go in the shower.
But he only cared about the money, it seemed.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, with Kells, he was the backbone of the group. Like, if we had anything to say, he was the negotiator. He would sit there and say, nope, you're not going to spend any money. And we'd go, oh, please. It's like asking your mum for pocket money. Please, can I have £1 to go to the ice cream van? Yeah.
Now, because he was an accountant, right?
Yeah.
And you guys, you took off for a month to film the show, I assume? Something like that, right?
Yeah.
So how's that even possible? Like, I don't know, maybe you guys get longer vacations there than we do here, but like, you think about these shows, and I'm just thinking, like, if I had a regular job and I was like, hey, I'm going to go to Mexico for a month to film the show.
Was he actually an accountant in real life?
No, he's not an accountant in real life.
Okay.
Oh, he was just the accountant for the show. Like they
They just called him that. Okay.
They just called him the accountant.
Yeah.
Yeah, hashtag the accountant.
Okay. So like,
love it.
Because I know, like, say, David's a personal trainer and other people, like, that kind of thing, you can pretty much probably set your own hours. But if you work in an office, you can't just take off for a month, right?
To be honest, I think for an opportunity like this, if I worked in an office, I'd quite happily sack it off. For me, I've always known I don't want to work in an office, and I've got too much of a vibrant personality. Like, I feel like I'm just being wasted sat behind a desk. Like, I've got so much energy all the time.
I couldn't agree with you more.
As somebody who has worked in many offices, nobody wants to work in an office. That's what I learned.
Yeah, that's very true.
I did work in an estate agents once, and I loved it because I got to call people like every 2 minutes, and I was cold calling, and I could have a conversation and literally talk all day with someone.
Hey, a quick thing I want to talk about, Mike Black. I think this is something that we really should talk about, and it's a company. Yes. That was founded in 1983 in Tokyo, Japan. Of course, I'm talking about the Zoom Corporation.
Zoom.
Now, if it wasn't for Zoom, and Matt knows this, we would not be able to do our show. They make the best audio equipment in the world. Which one are we using right now?
We're recording onto a Zoom LiveTrack L8 right now, and when we go do our live events at conventions and stuff, we often use the Zoom H6, and they're both just fantastic pieces of equipment. You plug your microphones in, you plug your headphones in, and you're good to go.
Yeah, I mean, whether you're a classically trained pianist or a run-and-gun filmmaker or a podcaster like us.
Yep.
Yeah.
I do a ton of podcasts, and I can tell by listening when they're using a Zoom and when they're not.
Yeah,
it's the mark of excellence.
It really is. Go check out all their stuff over at zoom-na.com. That's zoom-na.com. Be professional, for God's sake. zoom-na.com. All right. Okay, let's get back to the show. Look, of course, I want to talk about Nicole and about Bryce and Haley and Jesus. For God's sake, you had Jesus on the show. But I do before we wrap up, I do have one other thing I want to run over with Chloe. So, Chloe, when it comes to the rest of the cast, is there any particular story, anything from that we didn't get to see, anything that kind of stands out to you?
To be honest, I mean, everything that was kind of happening in the retreat, you get to see all of it. I mean, when you watch the show, it's only 8 episodes, and we were filming for a whole month. So, of course, there was tiny little bickers and just tiny little arguments, and none of it was relevant because it didn't add to anything. Like, the moral of the story was personal growth, build connections with someone, fall in love if you get that chance. Right. And you all see that on TV.
Now, what about the sleeping arrangements? That is something that it immediately struck me, where I was like, oh my God, like, you have to sleep in a room with a bunch of different people, and there's not enough beds for the entire cast. Everyone's kind of, some people are sleeping in the same bed together, some people aren't. Like, how did you feel when you saw that was the way that it was going to be taken care of?
Well, I mean, we ran in the bedroom, and I literally jumped on the bed, and I thought, I can't be sharing a bed with a guy because I cannot risk any funky business going on when my mum's going to see this. So I've got quite a lot of willpower, but I mean, I'm very easily swayed. So when we walked in, I said to Nicole, like, me and Nicole hit it off straight away. There was so much you guys didn't see of mine and Nicole's friendships. Like, we were constantly having a laugh. Like, Nicole has such a massive personality, and I really want to kind of do something with her to kind of show you guys, like, our friendship is literally not just 2 seconds on telly. Like, it's amazing. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I knew I was going to sleep in bed with Nicole, and then everyone else kind of just gathered their thoughts, had like little conversations, and then just jumped into bed.
I love it. I love it.
Now, are you still in touch with a lot of the castmates, or is it sort of like you did the show and then, haven't heard from Kel since or anything? Like, how's that worked out?
Yeah, so because we lived with each other for a whole month, we got on each other's nerves. It was like we were all brothers and sisters in the most, like, weird way. And afterwards, we all kept in touch, but because it was a year ago we filmed it, we've all had our own lives, and like closer to the time of the show airing, like, we've all gravitated back together as like besties. I was on FaceTime with Matthew yesterday. Oh, nice. And then the day before that I was on FaceTime to Nicole and Lydia. Like, we're all a massive weird family.
I love it. Now that this show is out, it's out in the world, and how has it changed your life?
Well, I mean, it's only been a week since the show come out, and already my following has skyrocketed, and the support that I've had has just been absolutely mind-blowing. Like, I'm getting parcels sent to my house. People want me to wear their clothes. They want me to model their brand. Like, I'm getting so many phone calls off of different people wanting to work with me, and I just can't process it. I think if I wasn't in isolation, I wouldn't be able to cope. I just, honestly, I love it. But being in isolation at a time like this is actually a godsend. Everything happens for a reason, and I can actually gather my thoughts and get in the bath whenever I want and kind of just chill and get off my phone for like 20 minutes. But the thing that I find the most hardest is to reply to every single comment that everyone sends me or posts on my Instagram.
You can't.
Like I just want to message them back, but I physically can't.
Yeah, no, it's gonna continue getting crazier.
It gets bad because, like, Steven, you were on a TV show for 5 years, and then you get.
I was on a series for 5 years, and I get about my inbox on Instagram is always full of sweet, wonderful people from different countries from around the world, and you can like I try to respond to as many people as I can and to comments and things like that, but the thing, if I can tell you one word of something that I think is a smart and cool move is do an Instagram live every maybe like once a week, throw something like that on, hit up some of your friends and bring friends on live with you so that you can chat with fans and you can have those conversations, and your fans, Chloe, they will absolutely appreciate it because it's it will let you connect with them in a way where you don't have to write back to every single person.
Yeah, 100%, definitely.
So something that the internet wanted me to ask you, Chloe, was after animosity, what's the next word that you've learned to add to the dictionary of Chloe?
Oh my word! You know what the funny thing is? I that was literally just a ditzy Chloe moment. Like, I did not expect that to actually make the cut. When I watched it back, I was like, "Oh my word!" But I learned a new word, and what is it called? See, we're off to a good start already. So it's like we're experiencing a global pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's a word that explains that this has never happened before, and it starts with a U.
Is it unprecedented?
Unprecedented, yeah, I learned that yesterday.
Hey, all right.
Look at you. You both learned a new word today, Steven.
I know. I had to look it up. Don't feel bad. I had to look it up.
I still can't put it in a sentence yet because I don't really completely understand what it means, but I learned it.
All right, a couple little British slang questions, and then we're out.
Yes.
I'm going to say a word. If you can explain
what the hell it means,
what it means, I'd really appreciate it. Just for people from around the world that don't know what these words mean. Tosser.
Oh gosh. Okay. A tosser is basically someone who's just a bit of an arse. You don't really like them that much, obviously, because it's a bad word. Someone that's just spiteful and just a bit of an idiot, really.
U.S. equivalent would be tool bag.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That would work. What about chuffed?
Oh, I don't know what that means.
So supposedly it's proud.
Oh.
I don't know. All right. Now on the show you said
you kept saying like, "Oh, I need a geezer." Now in America, a geezer is like an old man. So our question was like, what does that mean in British slang? Because I don't think that's what you meant.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Oh my word. Okay, so a geezer is someone that's confident, that walks with oomph in his stride, someone with tattoos, that dresses nice. It's like swag, like a proper geezer.
All right. Oh, I like that.
Yeah, because if you say that in the U.S., we think of like an old man in an old folks' home on his last legs.
Yeah,
that's a geezer to us.
If people in the U.S. say geezer,
yeah.
If you're going to say geezer, you've got to say geezer.
Geezer. Yeah.
Geezer. Yeah, you've got to say it like that.
Oh, I like that. That's very cool. Okay. Any plans coming up for you in the next little while here? I know that we are all trapped in our homes, but any big plans for you coming up?
Well, I mean, there's lots of different things that I'm working on at the moment, different projects. I really want to get into like acting, and kind of like the TV route. So I'm definitely working on that with my manager, and I want a book. Why not? Chloe's Dictionary. Pre-order it.
Oh yeah, I love that
Absolutely.
idea. Yeah.
Now, one practical question for you on the show, because I know from just being involved in shows and things like that in the past, a lot of times when you're on a show like this and they say they're going to pay you a certain amount of money, you don't get paid until after the show comes on the air. Like, did you get that money, your $7,500 or whatever it was, after you filmed, or have you gotten the check from Netflix yet? Like, what happened with that?
So the money that we kind of got told we were going to get on the show, we did receive the money after filming. So it wasn't that long ago that we got the money, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. And was that the only money they paid you, or did you get something additional?
No, I mean, the whole experience was literally worth more than the money anyway.
Sure.
So like, yeah, I don't think we were greedy, and that money could buy us a car. Do you know what I mean? And hopefully will lead on to other opportunities.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Now, Chloe,
I mean, so much. There are so many opportunities and things that happen in the entertainment industry where the money is not the biggest part of the opportunity. You know, it's a big amount of money, but it's not. You know, it's not the reason for doing it.
And now with your personal growth, are you now dating someone there in England, or what's going on in their personal life?
Well, I mean, no, I'm single Pringle, and I haven't found that geezer yet, unfortunately.
Oh my God! I mean, we need a show. We need a show just about that.
Yes.
Just that.
Chloe
Netflix, if you're listening, which
are.
I
They're
know
on
you
the
are,
line.
I know you are listening. We need to get a TV show. Chloe in Love. That's the show that we need.
Yeah.
All right.
Chloe. Chasing Chloe.
Yes.
Chasing
please.
Chloe. There you go.
Chasing Chloe. Oh, I'd watch that every day.
100%.
All right, Chloe. Where can people find you on social media?
Okay, so Instagram is Chloe Veitch Official, and that's my most used platform. I also have Cameo, so if anyone wants to send personalized, if they want me to send personalized videos, then I can connect with you all there. I'm also on TikTok, and I'm doing duets with people. So if you send me your reaction of Chloe, then I will duet with you and I will post it on my official TikTok account.
Absolutely. We will get you something for your TikTok from this interview, 100%.
Wow. Helicopter's going over now.
So lovely.
Well, thank you again so much for chatting with us, and definitely follow Chloe on her social media. She's phenomenal, and we look forward to Chasing Chloe, Netflix. We're looking forward to that.
Woo woo!
All right.
Let's hope it happens.
You bet. Have a wonderful
Thank you so
day.
much, guys.
Thank you,
You
Chloe.
bet. Take care.
You too. Take care. Bye.
Bye-bye. Oh my God, she's just so sweet, isn't she? Great.
The nicest person. You could not. Total sweetheart. She should be in LA making movies.
She really should be. She is just a phenomenally cool person. Hey, thanks so much for listening to the Nighttime Show podcast. Don't forget to subscribe to the show. Subscribe, share it with your friends, leave comments on iTunes. Let other people know if you enjoyed this. Let other people know that you enjoyed it, because that would be great. You can always get me. I'm Stephen Glickman at Stephen Glickman, STEPHEN Glickman on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. And of course, Matt, where can people get you?
Links to everything are at funnymatt.com, or if Francesca was your favorite, you can tell me all about that at mattwalkersucks.com.
Yes, of course. You can always get our announcer at Mike Black Attack across all social media. Don't forget to subscribe to the Nighttime Show podcast and share it with your friends. We love you guys. Thanks so much. And go check out some of the past episodes. We got like 170-something episodes to listen to. So go listen to them. We love you guys. Thanks a lot. Bye.